All right, guys, this is our interview with Black Smoke Matters. It's real issues. It's real for today. It's real for every one of you. If you're driving a truck, I ask you to listen to these guys, okay? Because they're all old timers like me. It's easy to get hot-headed in these issues. Very easy. Cooler minds will pervade. The issues are still the issues. Even if cooler minds do prevail, the issues are still the issues. And you'll see that the things in the day of these guys, it progressed and it changed as it went on, to the betterment of everyone. But check it out. Try to stay to the end. Listen to what they have to say. Make your decisions. And I'll talk to you afterwards. Okay? All right, guys. Today we're here with the good guys from Black Smoke Matters. And they're going to tell us about the fight that they're fighting for us. Take it away.
Hi, folks. My name is Mark Davis. I'm from Effingham. I run Cam Transport. It's all about safety and regulations. These mega carriers are just setting the rules for themselves, and ATA is against us. It's about safety. They're using the ELD as a safety issue when it's actually not. There's no safety to it at all, and that's our protest. We're the guys that know the industry. The people in Washington don't know it, so we're just asking that they listen to us and hear what we've got to say to make things the way it should be. We've got family on the roads too, so we're out for safety. We're like everybody else. The regulations, the mega carriers are backed by ATA, or they back ATA, which is basically a lobbyist group in Washington. That's what they are, and they're against us. The mega carriers are paying them to fight against all of us, and we're actually the safest fleets on the road. The mega carriers are the ones that are having the accidents, not us, but we're the one paying the price for that. So we're just trying to get awareness to the public that we need to stop this. We need to really get the image out there that we're not what they say. We're not killers. We're safe. We got family on the roads too. So we want to get home safe too. So it's basically the little man fighting the mega carriers now, and they've got to say so because they've bought the power in Washington, and that's basically,
Basically, us as independent contractors and such have always been a threat to the mega carriers, just on that little bit, and they want that little bit that carries us through our day. They want to take it.
That's true. We actually, as individuals and small companies, we outnumber all the mega carriers put together. I don't know. Do you have any number?
It's like 85–90%.
I know it's way up there. We outnumber them. So yeah, we are a threat to them, and we've literally stood back. We've tried to make a living and go on, and we've let them take control and cause these issues. And it's time that we all stand up together and bring them back. Bring it back to the issues where it used to be. Let us run the industry. We don't need them telling us how to do things. We're safe. Look at our records. They can. They pretty much run however they want. They get in accidents, and they're self-insured, so they pay it off underneath the table. They go on making money, and we pay the price through our insurance premiums. So it's just a fact that the regulations and it's a pay-to-play situation. That's what it is. If you don't pay, you're not going to play in this game. And that's not the way it should be. It should be free market.
I've seen congressional interviews about the ELDs, and they totally admitted that it wasn't about safety. It's not about the numbers. It's just about control, in my opinion.
Evening the playing field.
Right.
But it didn't even the playing field. It's just the opposite.
Correct.
You can't even the playing field when you got 20,000 trucks versus 5 trucks. And I like to look at it as like the difference between Walmart pushing the little small market out of business, and that's what they're doing to us. There's 325,000 DOT numbers out there right now. 300,000 of those DOT numbers have less than 10 trucks. 25,000 of them have more than 10,000 trucks.
Correct. And what, 23% up this year on new people coming in with their own authorities. So these things do matter. They matter to us, to our families, and everyone that's a spin-off of our life.
Right. But our livelihood is based off of safety, because if we don't have the safety, then we're going to be put out of business. So the only way I can keep my business going is if my guys don't have violations, don't have tickets, look good on an audit, all my paperwork's clean, but the first time I get one mistake, that goes on my record as a bad mark. And no broker, no contractor, nobody's going to want to deal with me because I'm so small that one violation can hurt me. But a bigger company, they can have 15,000 deaths, and it's like no big deal to them, you know? I kill one person and I'm going to jail.
Well, when their safety record gets hit for that reason, what do? They go out and buy out another mega fleet to add more trucks to bring their safety rating back down. Look at Swift. Look what's happened to them. They've been bought 4 or 5 times for that reason.
They even got their own pricing at these dealerships. I had one tear my hood off. I made it back to Joplin, Missouri, and I had a 2015 389. And it was like $26,000 in damage. They got their own pricing. Did I get any downtime?
No.
Hell no.
No.
I've had it happen
I
too.
didn't get nothing, man. You know what I mean?
Yes, I do.
And my biggest gripe is, you know, ATA, they're giving this money to, of course, it's the old deal, you know, it's been happening forever. Washington, D.C., giving that money, the Republicans, Democrats, they're getting these bills passed. They're going over telling FMCSA, we got this passed, you're going to do this. And they're hollering, you know, these ELDs are nothing but a glorified babysitter. They got to have them. They're not going nowhere. They got to have them. Because their training programs, we're going to training, is so weak. And they're killing our families out here on the road, man. They're killing innocent people, families right here, these kids, this family, and they're letting it happen.
Yeah, they're the ones
Jesus
causing
Christ,
it.
it's got to come to a stop. You know, they quit killing people, and they ought to be brought up on murder charges. What some bitches need.
Well, it's the rules are designed to protect the weakest among
Right.
us, and when maybe that's the segment that needs to be weeded out.
Yeah, sure. But we've dropped the ball on this, man. I'll admit, we dropped the ball on this. We didn't think a lot of this would ever happen.
Because they talked about it. They talked
Because
about
they
it for
talked and
15
talked.
years,
Yeah.
and nothing ever
Yeah.
happened. So everybody kind of just sat back, and then when we didn't know it, they snuck it into MAP 21, and nobody
Right.
knew it was going to happen. And they went, yeah,
ain't
they've been
gonna
talking
worry
And they
about it.
literally
They've been
snuck
talking
it in
about
that
forever.
transportation bill. They
did.
snuck it in, man.
Yes, they did.
They knew what they was doing. And then, but seriously, we did drop the ball, but now we're picking it up, and we're picking it up at a big speed.
Now,
And this right here, what we're doing today, this is a start.
a lot of you guys is old enough to remember the early 70s and how tough it was. I wasn't driving, but I'm from a trucking family, and I remember watching the news every day. Now, we got to be careful, in my opinion, not to let something resort to that area, because that really put a negative light.
It did,
on
and
all
we're
that.
not going to resort to that. That is something we are strictly doing away from. We want no violence.
I love the way y'all stick to
No.
the right lane.
And, well, that's it.
We're
We're
not,
promoting safety. We're not out here to do violence. We're not out here, you know, we're not gonna be shutting people
No.
down. We're just asking for the support. There's no violence involved. We don't want no
No,
violence.
we're doing what our God-given rights is as American citizens. We're standing up for our rights, and that's what we're doing. Our constitutional rights, our forefathers fought for. And we got all these groups out here on Facebook. You know what? I'm not even going to mention some of them except call them hate groups. They want to break this down. They're the ones hollering, slashing tires and all this other shit. Not us. We do not condone any kind of violence. Our fight is not against other drivers. It's against the United States government.
Okay, fellas. Well, I really appreciate y'all's times. I believe in what y'all are doing. I think that my subscribers will 100% get behind this also.
Well, we thank
Folks,
you.
yeah, that's it. We're
Thank
gonna
you.
have another blitz, what
We
is
were
it,
behind you on
February
the interstate. We
21st
just couldn't catch up
in
because there was a
Indianapolis.
bunch of traffic
That'll
in
be a
front
big
of us.
turnout.
And we got stuck behind the
USTA,
funeral.
United States Transportation Alliance. I asked everybody to get involved with that group. Those guys are owner-operators. Met them in D.C. personally. They're guys like us. They are up meeting with the people in Washington. They are doing the job that ATA and FMSCA is supposed
It's
to.
in D.C. right now, man. They're our voice, and then we got the Chi-Town guys and girls from Chi-Town. Listen, man, they're 120 some strong. they're putting this stuff together too. They're members of Black Smoke too, but these guys and gals in Chi-Town, man, hey, they contribute a lot to this trucking industry, man. I got the most respect for all these guys. These are my brothers and sisters, everybody. And this is what a lot of this is about. It's getting some of the old school unity and brotherhood and sisterhood back out here and trying to educate these people that ain't getting trained right. We're trying to do it out here on our own when it ought to be done in that before the classroom.
That's right. If we could get back to those days, I mean, people just don't. If you was broke down the side of the road, I'd stop making a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Now everybody just drives by and flips you off.
Dude, we still stopping out people. You know what? Man? We still stopping out. I do all the time.
They're hollering about safety, and I'm just going to bring this back because nobody wants to bring this up, but they're talking about bringing our 18-year-old kids out here on the road.
Yeah.
Safety? Come on, 18, and I'm not knocking it. Everybody's got to learn. At 18, I knew how to drive a truck. Okay, I was raised in the industry, but to bring these kids out of the city
that were not raised in it
and doesn't know nothing about it, and to turn them loose out here at 18 years old, they don't even have control of themselves. How can they control that much weight?
Some of us, that's what we do.
Yeah, but these city kids don't have the hayfield.
But the ones that they're bringing out of the city, you know, Prime and all your bigger companies that are bringing out of the court system.
The thing is, though, right now with the 18-year-olds, an 18-year-old can already get a driver's license, get a CDL, and go drive truck. They just can't cross state lines. Right. So what's the difference if a kid drives from Dubuque, Iowa to Council Bluffs, Iowa? 3 can't cross into Omaha, Nebraska. So what would really be the difference if he went to Omaha?
In my opinion, the feeling should be give them a radius and let them get used to that drive. Just for instance, somebody in Denver.
I mean, if a kid lives in Texas, he can go 800 miles and never cross the proper training. If you can train an 18-year-old kid the proper way, and he has the love and the joy of doing the job and has pride in it, then he can be a great driver.
And I agree, but as you say, it goes back to the training. But my point being is, these mega carriers aren't going to give them proper training. They're going to bring them in and turn them loose.
I think I also read something that with the 18-year-olds that they want to put into trucking, they have to have a military background or something else. They wanted 18-year-olds that are coming out of the military.
See, now I have no problem with somebody that's got a little bit of sense of responsibility.
Right.
But you're not going to get an 18-year-old coming out of the military.
They were trying to figure out what the limitations were going to be, and one of them was going to be a military background or something else. So that way when you're in the Armed Force Reserves at 17 and 18 years old, when you come home, you can go drive a truck.
Correct.
And I don't have an issue.
I don't have a problem with that part.
When that happens.
What's that?
I say you're considerably older than 18 when that happens.
Right.
And I went in when I was 17. I was 20 years old when I got out. I went to
Well, a lot of these guys are going into boot camp at 17, 18 years old, and then they go into the National Guard Reserves and the Army Reserves, so they're home all the time. But either way,
he's showing responsibility.
That's where it all boils down to, is in the training. That's where it starts for safety and everything. I mean, it all starts in the training. I'm sure when you learned, you just wasn't throw a set of keys and said, here's what it is, you get out. I mean, I was raised in the truck.
But we were hauling grain and stuff like that.
Correct. Yeah.
You know?
He was used to city driving and two-lane stuff.
The yard and warehouse person for Coca-Cola when I was 17. So I had hundreds of miles in reverse and jockeying around the yard and everything else.
Right.
And then somebody quit one day and they said, are you 18 yet? I said, I will be on the 29th of June. And they said, good, 30th of June, go take the test. And they had a truck sitting there. I could do anything in that truck, but I couldn't shift gears. But I got my driver, I got my license.
And you learned from that.
Well, yeah. But I mean, I was in and out of, you know.
But the responsibility thing.
It was a five-speed Volvo.
I trained for 10 years.
Single axle.
And the responsibility thing is the difference is that a lot of us, we grew up with this, right? This is how we learned. The guys from the cities, and I feel bad to say it, a lot of them ain't never seen nighttime. Right? They come, you know, like I'm 20. I didn't even have a license last week. And how can you train that into them? Let's take 6 weeks ain't enough to really train someone. You need a lot longer.
I had 6 months, and then when I came out, I think I had close to 15,000 miles already.
Yeah, I actually just hired. I just hired a new owner-operator on. He's 24 years old. He's been driving for 5 years already. He's got more experience than what a lot of the 30-year-old guys that are applying with me. And I took a chance with him at 24 years old. You know, he's still young. But you know what? He's a damn good truck driver. It cost me a lot of money. But I'd rather spend a lot of money on insurance for somebody that has a love for trucking than somebody that got kicked off their factory job and they're just now coming out at 30 years old and don't know what they want to do.
That's a huge difference. It's the love for it versus I got to do it to feed my kids. And that's all I can do.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's the only thing I've ever done.
I wouldn't want to do it. This is
when I turned 21, I went to college.
Thanks, everybody.
Years,
I'm headed back south.
Appreciate it. Thank you. I'm gonna let Patrick sit down here for a minute, kind of join in on the conversation, because I'm sure he can hit on.
You know what? Me and Brian was on the phone one day, and we kicked this idea off, man. It was like, you know what?
We're breaking the law so bad. Then why did the state patrol block the highways for us to get back to the fairgrounds?
They had the ramp.
We were
on the
so
right.
terrible.
Well, before
That's why the ramp was open.
yeah, before I got up and come over here, you know, yesterday when I did the interview with Channel 3 yesterday, you know, I said we was going to block both lanes. I caught more slack over that than you can imagine. You know, and I really thought the state police called me and said, you know, we'd like for you to rethink that.
And they know
We'll answer next time.
I was watching that interview.
Yeah.
I was talking to the girl, and I said, you know, I can't support that. But when y'all went over to the right lane, I was like, I can get behind that.
Well, there was good reason. You know, 57 down in between Mount Vernon and Marion has had a lot of crashes in the last couple of years. Terrible amount of crashes. And I thought about that at the beginning.
You look familiar.
And then when they called, and they weren't disrespectful. They were very supportive of it, of our movement. Just asked me, would you please reconsider? I said, well, I might have to talk it over with some people, you know, think about it. And so I went in and I told everybody, I said, look, this is what I want to do. I want to move to the right because of this. And I think we're trying to gain public support. So let's not be stupid about this, you know. And look, it turned out amazing.
That was a great move, I think. I mean,
Yeah, the police were on our side. Yesterday, everybody, you know, when the state police put out the, you know, warning or whatever,
I see that too.
people were like, oh, this is just give them tickets, you know, shut them down, whatever.
We wasn't doing nothing illegal.
It's crazy, yeah. I was like, this is gonna be, you know, a shit show, basically. What I was figuring. And then when everybody was on the overpasses, sports and stuff, wow, that's all I can say. Wow, that was
52 years. I'm not.
and just made it all worth it. Well, it's been a lot of work the last few days, you know. And without the help of all these guys, it was just an idea. You know what I mean?
Well, it's one that came together right, it looks like.
Nationwide, it did in one day.
Yeah, that's good.
And you know, maybe the state that was going to block both lanes to begin with is what took it that far. You know, 'cause that seemed to get a lot of response, both good and bad.
The state police on this end are a lot more understanding, and they're farmers too. They come from families like we did.
Well, DeCoin was the same way. They come and met us before we left, and you know, thanked us for everything, and said they'd be right there along with us when they had any problems, or whatever. Then we got up here, and Effingham called about the wreck down here, you know. And he just said, I want you to know you guys pulled this off very professional, very good job. And that meant a lot when we pulled in here and they blocked the roads off like that.
Yeah.
You know, that was just totally cool.
Well, good job.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Appreciate everybody. I mean, like I said, I'm just a driver. I'm just owner, trying to make a living. These guys right here, brothers and sisters, that made this happen.
What I think is funny about this whole deal right now, this used to happen on a regular basis back when I started in the early 90s.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, everybody
that's what I say.
go
I
into a room and
ain't felt this in 30 years, you know. Really haven't.
Yeah, it should be.
Well, again, everybody, I hope you stayed in the video to get to this point, okay? If you did, and if you could hear, because we was at the Petro in the dining area, and it was very, very noisy, right? They're all good old boys. They are all the kind of guys that you want on your side. They're the kind of guys that if you break down on the side of the road or you have a truck problem, you want to stop and help you. That guy in that company truck, he don't know anything, okay? These kind of guys, my kind of guys, they know it all. Let's just say it straight. I don't care who I make mad. They know it all because they've done it all. You have the experience. You have the knowledge. So they do have authority in this issue to speak. Now, they're still men, and all men are fallible, okay? At the end, I was talking to the main organizer of this particular group in Illinois, and they were talking about they was going to shut down. I shouldn't say shut down. That's a bad word. They were going to slow down, do a slow row in both lanes for 100 miles. And the state police did talk him out of that. That means that he's a reasonable man. But maybe he was initially led by emotions, right? Emotions lead all of us. We can't say it doesn't. We're truck drivers. We are definitely hidebound to emotions. In our emotions are to reach out and choke people. Our emotions are to show you why you are wrong. I can understand that. I'm the first to jump into a fight or to get violent. And then my other self, right? My other self, my military training says, calm down, brother, calm down, right? That's the same thing that affected this guy. The state police talked to him. He thought about it. He said, you know what? You're right. This is a 100-mile stretch of roads that there have been 248 accidents this year. That's a lot of accidents, right? So he said, we're going to stick to the right-hand lane. I would have stuck to the right-hand lane no matter what. I think that's the only issue. It is the only issue with Black Smoke Matters. In my book, that's a problem with me. That's why I can't officially join any of these groups yet. I'm not saying it won't happen. I cannot condone shutting down a highway. I cannot condone slowing down a highway. It's just wrong. Because that takes us back to 1972, 1971. It takes us back to those bad old days when the truck driver is the enemy. And we do not need to be the enemy. If you're going to be an enemy, declare all-out war. But don't declare a passive war. A passive war is not going to get anyone anywhere. But if you're going to declare a be nice war, that's great. Those kind of wars do get you somewhere. You either got all-out war or a be nice war. But the middle war gets you nowhere. I really like this group. I like their passions. I like their knowledge. I like the group. That's my opinion, okay? I'm just one guy. One guy that's an old guy, just like them guys, all right? Seen it all, done it all, run my authority, had my business, you know, right? But if you're an owner-operator, this matters to you. Even if you're a lease driver, this matters to you. If you're a company driver running on a percentage and such, it matters to you. If you're running for some company that you don't do that, then maybe it doesn't matter. But it may matter to you tomorrow or 6 months or 6 years down the road. So you need to listen, pay attention, and learn. Thank you, everybody. Y'all have a great day. I really appreciated the guys at Black Smoke Matters letting me interview them. Y'all have a spectacular day. Bye-bye.